Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Cinema 4D Second Life tutorial. This time, sculpties again, but with an added bonus of 3D wings is a bit difficult. A lot of people complain, so I have a slightly different option. And that program is called OBJ to sculpt. It converts a object into a sculptie, but with some issues that I'll show you in a bit. Alright, let's begin. We have Cinema 4D with a Second Life compatible sphere. Now I am going to get the magnet tool, set my radius brush size down to something manageable, and I'm going to pull and lift and push and drag to create something. I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm pushing and pulling just to make a sample object. Doesn't matter what it is. The point is, it's been sculpted. It could be an avatar's face, it could be a piece of genitals, or a piece of clothing, or jewelry, or anything. A space rock or something, I don't know, anything, it doesn't matter, there it is. Alright, now, what we do from here is we export it as an OBJ file into that folder where we have the object to sculpt program, and we'll call it test.obj. Alright, now we bring down, there we are, object to sculpt, test obj, drag and drop the test file onto that exe. Alright, we have a texture created, but some of the surfaces are bad. Untranslatable pixels that it had a hard time with. So, now let's edit this BMP in Paint. View, zoom, large size. There we go. Now you can see that there's these rough edges here. We fix those rough edges by painting the local color over them. The sides are going to be tricky, but the top and bottom we do this trick. We grab the eyedropper and we grab the purple color at the bottom here. Then we grab the paintbrush in a moderate sized brush, but not too big, say tiny square, and we carefully, just those two rows, paint over that area, except for I think I have a slightly different color. Feels like I have a slightly different color. There we go. You want to make sure you have the exact color up the bottom there. And you just want to wipe out the mistake of those two rows of pixels at the bottom. Being careful not to erase anything else. Then do the same process at the top. Grab the eyedropper, grab the average tone of the color at the top, and carefully paint out those two rows only. Alright, now actually at this point in time the sides are fine, but sometimes the sides will be a bit messed up. So what you do is you use a rectangle selection tool, and very skinnily you do that, and you copy from one side and paste to the other, and that will give you a nice clean result of the color spectrum from one side to the other, because those little deviations that you saw at the top and bottom that I painted over will result in holes and twisted faces and ugly nastiness that's just plain yuck. So now we can undo that. There we go. Just wanted to get rid of the selection lines. Alright, now we can save, and now we get a nice clean texture. Now off to Second Life. We create an object, set it to sculpted, but before we get ahead, first we need the texture, so we need to upload the image. Test.obj.bmp. If we set it for sculpted, we can kind of get a look at it. Temporary image, because this is a tutorial, and I don't want to keep that texture forever. Now we choose that texture from the list. Alright, so there's the other one I had before. Now where's test? There it is, test.obj, temporary, select. Alright, now let's scale this up so we can get a nice look. There. Now we have a nice look at this little thing that we created here. Let me see if I can. Looks like we need to turn the texture inside out so it seems solid on the outside. Maybe I should scale that down somewhat. Alright, scaled down. Now let's position it out of the way. Down. Yeah, that's better. Rotate around, and there's all the push and pulls and squishes and everything I did. Making sure not to delete any faces, because you cannot delete any faces. No holes whatsoever. Ever. No holes. You cannot change the faces at all. You can only rotate them and reposition them and rescale them, but you cannot delete them. You cannot change the faces at all. But here's a sculpting. Enjoy.